like everybody's chill. And the rain has stopped, so we're all good. Yeah. All right, so we are in tabletop pose. I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and find your breath. Breathe. Yeah. Now I'm going to have you start to make a circle. I want you to lean to the right, and then pull yourself back, and lean left, and then forward. Go slow, go big. See how big you can make that circle. I want you to really notice that there's circling happening in your wrists, circling happening in your shoulders and your hips, even in your knees, even the way your shins and your feet are on the floor. There's this sort of like wave-like movement, undulation happening in all of your joints. And I suggest that you keep those eyes closed and you just kind of get into your own space, your own rhythm. Make sure you're breathing as you move, because this moment is about awakening your body. Now I'm going to ask you to make those movements just a little bit smaller. Start to narrow them and bring them in a little bit, and then start to shift it and go in the other direction. That's it. Now we're all circling to the left. So we go left, back, right, forward. And notice how it feels in your hands, your wrists, your shoulders. Notice even how your spine moves, your hips, your knees, your feet, your ankles. You can move your head too. Just take it easy. Be sensitive. Sort of what's been in my brain this whole week is that our yoga acts like sensitivity training for us. I think our world externally sort of minimizes our sensitivity. We sort of build some armor around us and we get kind of hardened. And so today I want this to be sensitivity training, and it starts right here with how you're feeling in your body. We're going to start to bring that back to center, and then just pause for a moment and feel. Did that already have an impact on you? Do you already feel like your cells are dancing? If you get really quiet, you might notice the effect that that really had on your body. And the truth is, if we just move and breathe, the yoga works. So sensitivity training, stillness, feel. Beautiful. Now, I want you to turn it into a cat-cow. So arch your back, look up. That's it. And then round it out. Belly to the spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Let's do that again. Open up the front of the spine, gaze up, widen your collarbones, and then exhale, tuck it in. Tuck the belly button into the spine. That's it. Round it out. One more time. Nice and simple. I like it. And then exhale, last one. All right, holding tabletop pose. Get nice and firm, belly to the spine, hands are under shoulders. I want you to tuck your toes under. That's it. And then lift your knees a couple of inches. And we're going to hold that. That is a floating table. And right there is probably the first moment where heat starts to come up. And so don't get frustrated with that. Let's embrace that. We're going to need to bring a little heat up today. There is no sunshine. So 2 more breaths here. And I want you to make sure it feels solid under your hands and your feet. And then we're going to lift into downward facing dog. That's it. Sensitively. With presence. Allow the body to open up and make sure you feel yourself breathing. Good. Take 1 more breath. And then come forward into plank pose. In plank, you want to make sure that you are accessing the strength in your legs so your upper body doesn't burn out. You want to actually feel like your ribs and your knees and your hips lift a little bit away from the floor. There you go. Take a nice deep breath there. And then in slow motion, as slowly as you can, bend your elbows in toward your ribs, come a little forward and down, all the way to the belly. Go ahead and point your toes back and give me the best cobra you have ever done. It's going to be 5 breaths. So you want to make sure that your feet are not up in the air. You want to make sure the tops of your feet are pressing down and your legs feel super long behind you. Your chest feels really wide. So think about a cobra, right? It's a snake. It's super long and it has this big hood in the front. So think about that. Wide in the shoulders and the collarbones. Take another breath up high into the chest. And then as you exhale, just slowly lower down. And then push yourself back into child's pose. Send your hips to your heels and know that at any time, if you feel like your mat surface does not feel solid under you, you come to child's pose. All right. Take one more breath. Let's extend those arms forward and come into downward facing dog again. Lift your hips as high as you can. Give me a little power in your legs. And then test the waters. Let's see how right leg in the air feels. Take it up. Stretch to the sky. I want you to really lift through that right leg, but also sink through the left. And pay attention to how you're using both of your arms. Your handprints should be solid. And we don't want to let the ribs poke out. That's it. Give me one more breath here. And now plank pose, knee to belly. Come forward, shoulders over wrist. Pull the knee right to the belly. That's it. And then take it back again. One leg down dog. Ooh, I like the way you're moving. Take a breath here. And then come forward again. Bring that right knee to right elbow. Look forward when you do it. Right knee, right elbow. You guys are looking super strong. One leg down dog. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale if you would. Cross the body. Right knee, left elbow. Look forward. Beautifully done. Last breath here. On the exhale, just step back to plank. Step it back. And lower. Nice work. Inhale into cobra. We're going to stay a few breaths. The back bends are important. They're beautiful. And I want time for you to actually access the strength in your back body and root your legs, root your feet. Make sure the tops of those feet are pressing down. And Andrea, make sure, are you observing or assisting? Observing, okay, so I can't tell you to go to work. All right, so make those legs long. Make that chest wide. Feel your heart space. Open up big. Take one last breath. And then exhale, release right into downward facing dog. I like the way you're moving a lot. Let's spread the fingers out. Make sure you have a good solid base. And then take the left leg up behind you. We're going to stretch that leg up high, toes to the sky. Take a nice deep breath in and then come to plank, knee to belly. Go ahead, pull the knee to the belly. Try to look forward. Feel the core work. On the inhale, stretch it back. Take your leg all the way up and back. So good. And now we're going to take it. Left knee, left elbow. Same side. Look forward. That's it. Just pump in a little oxygen. Go ahead. Inhale. Take it back. One leg. Awesome job. And then cross the body. That's it. Keep looking forward. See if you can touch your knee to your elbow. Might not happen today, but you can always try. And then step back to plank. That's it. And lower down slowly. Inhale into your cobra. Just one breath this time. And then exhale. Take it back into down dog. All right. So I would love to see you walk your hands to the back of the mat. Just like a cat. Do it gracefully. Pull the belly in, get your weight in your feet, keep the feet at hip distance apart, and bend your knees. I would really like you to bend your knees so much that the belly rests on the thighs. See if you can make that connection, belly and thighs touching. So your knees have to bend in order for that to happen. You got to get your belly close to your legs. You really want to get contact, bend, and then, yeah. So I want you to actually feel like your ribs are resting on your thighs. And then tuck your chin. And then feel a little weight in your heels. So make sure you're not so heavy in your toes. And then I want you to give me a little squeeze on the back of the legs. So I want you to actually recognize your hamstrings. I want you to feel them not only when they stretch, but also when they contract. And I want you to feel the back of the legs nice and strong. And then keep the legs strong, keep the chin tucked and the tailbone down, and start to roll up slowly. Come up slow, one vertebra at a time. Keep feeling the leg work in the back. There you go. Feels good to stand up. Inhale, reach your arms up high to the sky. Let's hook our thumbs together and spread our fingers out. Like rays of the sun. We may not get rays of the sun this morning, but that could be a blessing. Keep your feet pressing down. Let's stretch over to the right. Now I know when I give you that, our thumbs should be hooked. I want you to feel the thumbs almost pulling apart on each other. And pull the biceps back by the ears so you're a little taller. Yeah. And I know that when we go right, all you think about is the right side of your body. But in yoga, we're always seeking balance. So I need you to think about, oh, no, you are thinking about the left side. The left side is what opened. I want you to think about the right side. So move your hips a little bit there, and then lift up out of this rib cage, and then bend. Yeah. So there's all this space that you can create by getting taller in the pose. Instead of going sideways, we go taller. We go taller, yeah. And back, lean back for me. There. Tip your ears back, look at your fingers. Give me one breath. Good. On your next inhale, rise back up and play it out on the other side. See what you learned. Yeah, see if you can get the rib cage to lift. See if you can stay out of your left waist. See if you can also let your hips move a little bit to the right. So there's this beautiful line to opening all through the right side of the body. Feet pressed down, breath moves freely. And again, just sensitivity. What do you feel right now? Not what are you doing. Nobody ever remembers what you do. They remember how you make them feel. So I need you to pay attention to how you feel. What you feel. And then on your next inhale, rise back up. Beautifully done. Take your arms down and behind your back. Let's clasp them together. Inhale, extend. As you lift your chest up, draw the tailbone down just a little bit. Keep breathing. All right. Keep the footprint solid. Inhale here. And then exhale, let's forward fold. As you fold over, let the head down. Squeeze a little behind the shoulders. Now, remember in the last forward fold, we tried to bring the belly and the thighs together. On this one, I want you to press your thighs back away from the belly. That's it. And as you press your thighs back, can you also tip a little bit of your weight towards your toes? So you got to push those legs straight. As the legs straighten, your quadriceps engage and you create a little more stability. So legs straight. There you go. All right, last breath. We're going to release our hands, let them drape toward the floor. And then soften the knees enough to feel the hamstrings behind the legs. And then go ahead, tuck your tailbone, draw those sit bones a little narrow and roll yourself up. One more time. Belly to the spine. That's it. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. Let's walk our hands out to the top of the mat for plank pose. How you guys feeling right now? You all right? Let's roll over onto the right side, Vashisthasana. Roll onto the edge of your right foot, onto your right hand, and lift that left arm up. That's it. We're not going to stay long. Remember to push down to rise up. Be sensitive with yourself. I know it's a challenging pose. One breath. Exhale, put your hand down and switch to the other side. That's it. Use your feet, use your legs. Just like in the original plank pose, you needed that leg power. You needed to lift the hips. That's it. One more breath. Eyes go down, hand goes down. Go ahead and lower yourself down. Empty out your lungs. Inhale into Cobra. And then exhale back into your child's pose.
From scared to excited.
All right, one breath here. Open your mouth, let it out with a big ah. And then I'd like you to come up into a tabletop pose, just like we started. And we're going to step that right foot forward to the hands. There's construction. Downtown Boca is developing. And we should be nothing but happy about it. As long as they do it smart, right? All right, so make sure that there's some space between your legs. I want you to be long and wide here. So make sure this goes all the way back, even more. And then this one goes that way. So I want you actually to have so much space, even more. Yeah. So you want your stance long and wide here. And then I'm going to ask you to cat-cow. So inhale, arch the back, look up, just like we did before. And then on the exhale, here, I'll show you. So here's your cow, and then here's your cat. Okay, so we inhale, arch the back, and exhale, round. Think about head to knee. Go ahead, move through about 5 of those. You probably have 3 more to go. That's it. Make sure you're doing it with your breath and being sensitive about what you feel. Notice the range of motion, notice the sensations. Good, I like it. And then you'll stay in that low crescent lunge. Bring your arms right up to the sky. I want you to notice that feeling of narrowing the sit bones and maybe hugging a little bit on the outer hips. Yep, I want you to sink in a little lower. So I want you to really bend the right knee. Bend the right knee. And drop the front of the left hip down just a little bit. Yeah. That's it. Take one more breath right there. And then draw your hands right to your heart. The left elbow is going to go outside of the right knee. The beauty about having that knee down behind you is that you really get to focus on leveraging this twist. So you can push the palms together equally, and you can move your hands towards your heart and your heart towards your thumbs. You okay? So bend your front knee more. Yeah, so you need to make your stance really much longer. Now bend this. Does that feel a little better? Yeah. All right, last breath here. Twist a little deeper on your exhale. And then release your hands and take a one-leg down dog. Right leg goes all the way up into the air. You can say it if it feels good. Take a nice deep breath. Reach your toes way up to the sky. And then when you're ready, let's put that foot down behind you. Take one deep breath in down dog. And then exhale, come forward into plank. Lower yourself down slowly, really slow. Use your muscles. Let the muscles create the heat. Lay all the way to the belly. And then inhale for cobra. Stretch it out. Get long in that front body. And then exhale, pull the belly to the spine and move into down dog. That's it. We're just going to take one breath here. And then go ahead and put your knees down gently for tabletop. And step the left foot forward. You have plenty of time to make that stance long and wide, so adjust whatever you have to. I want to make sure at least that left heel is forward, at least under your knee. And we want to have nice space in between, so don't be afraid to widen. And then we cat-cow here about 5 times with the breath. Inhale, arch the back and look up. You can use your fingertips, and then exhale, pull the hips back, straighten that left leg and round, head to knee. That's it. Inhale, arch the back. It's interesting what you feel there. We did cat-cow already. This one feels a little different. Round it out. We add that hamstring. Round. Inhale, lengthen the sternum upward, and then exhale, round, belly to the spine. Feel your way through it. It should feel pretty good. Maybe interesting if you haven't moved that way before. Pull it back for the last time. And then come into your low crescent lunge and hold. Arms sweep up to the sky. And so what I'm asking for here is an awareness to your stability. It's really good if you can release your toes back on the right foot and press the top of the foot down. The lateral border of the foot really does translate into stability in the hips, and you want that right hip to pull a little forward, left hip to pull a little back, and then maybe we narrow the sit bones and draw like we're hugging the outer hips. They're called the medial glutes. We kind of hug those in. When you get really stable from there, you can extend upward even more. Yeah, I want to see fullest expression. Give me one more breath. Lengthen it up, and then hands come to the heart. Take your time. We're twisting to the left. Right elbow outside the left knee. Stay down. Yeah, it's a lot easier if you go lower. Slide your right knee back. Put your hands down for a second. Yeah. Feel a little more stable. Get a little lower. That's it. You're welcome. So elbow is outside the knee. We're turning from the belly. I want you to make sure that you're feeling the leverage. Push your hands together and see if you can aim, yes, thumbs toward the heart, heart toward the thumbs. You feel that? That was awesome. Give me one more breath. Twist a little more on the exhale. Widen the chest. And then eyes go down. Hands go down. And we take a one leg down dog. Let's lift that left leg all the way up. That's it. Stretch it till it feels so good. This could be our last down dog, so enjoy it. Place your foot back on the floor. For those of you that are underneath, you don't realize it just started to drizzle. And if we have wet surface on the top and the bottom, there won't be any more down dogs. Give me one last breath. Push back. And then exhale. Forward into plank. Nice and strong. Go ahead, lower down slowly. Inhale into your cobra. And exhale back. Child's pose. Awesome. He's got it, yeah. He thinks of everything. All right. Now I'd like you to walk your hands back and tuck your toes under so you find yourself in a little squat at the back of the mat. A little squat at the back of the mat with your toes together and your knees wide. The knees are wide, and then I'm going to have you just place your hands on the floor in front of you and round your back. Think about tucking the tailbone under, puffing up the kidney area, and like tucking the chin. So we got that cat pose going on again. Some of you might even be able to rest your forearms and your elbows down on the mat as you do that. Nice and round. Now, if you were able to get down nice and low, could you consider taking your right elbow and kind of jamming it back against your right shin, and then swinging your arm around underneath and grab your heel? Lise, could you do that with your knees up? Yeah, there you go. And then we take the left elbow right against the left shin, wrap it around and grab the heel. That's it. Now, lengthen your spine forward. Lift the chest. Look out. Smile for me. I should have the camera right now. Right? That would be a good post. Yoga in the rain, you crazy people. Right? Right? Alright. Take a breath. Now, go ahead, release your hands, but keep your arms right there. I want you to feel your arms against your legs. We're going to take our hands onto the mat, maybe inch the knees up a tiny bit higher, and come into Bakasana. You guys know that. We're going to come up into our first arm balance. And we're going to touch our toes together behind us. If it's your first time attempting this, maybe just one foot lifts today. You can look forward. Make sure you're not looking at your feet. You want to look forward. Look forward of your hands. That's it. You can't do it with your head down. You fall down. Promise you. If you don't want to fall, then you definitely don't want to look at your feet. You need your head forward to counterbalance the weight of your legs and hips behind you. You guys are doing awesome. Try one foot at a time. You can't jump in. You got to make it happen. It's from the groins, the inner thighs, the hamstrings. Squeeze the hamstrings. That's it. Give me one more try. And And then release into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Oh, it feels good. Straighten your legs. Let your head down. Woohoo! Look at you in the back corner. All right, so feet are hip distance apart. Let's bend the knees a little bit. Tuck the chin and the tailbone and roll it up slowly. I want you to feel your back stretch. So good. On your next inhalation, reach your arms way up to the sky. That's it. And then take your hands to your hips, please. Hands right onto your hips. We're going to fold halfway. So our feet are hip distance apart. I want you to keep your spine really straight and just fold halfway. It's going to feel really nice on those hamstrings. If you need support, if you have lower back issues and there's a little weakness there, then feel free to stretch your arms down and place them on your legs, like a little support there, like a kickstand. Keep the chest lifted, keep the eyes to the front of the mat. That's how we lengthen. Pull that chest forward. Then tip a little weight into your toes maybe. As the sit bones come over the heels, we feel even more love for those hamstrings, right? And so if I earlier was willing to contract them, you knew I was going to come back in there and I was going to stretch them. That's it. Give me one more breath here. And then exhale, fold in. On your next inhalation, with a flat back, rise up to standing. Head up, chest up. Rise all the way up. Reach your arms up to the sky. And then release them to your heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach. How's your mat surface? Good. Dry. Okay, exhale, fold. Come halfway up, inhale. Let's walk it out into plank pose. Take a vinyasa. Lower down slowly. Inhale into your cobra. Nice work. And then exhale. Down dog. Yeah, just keep those shoulders out of the ears. All right, now the right foot is going to step forward to the hands. Come into your high crescent lunge. Okay, this is going to be my favorite moment of the day. Goddess arms, bend your elbows. Now, come up high on the ball of that back foot. Lift a little higher out of your lunge. But now bend that left knee a little forward and down. I want that shin to hover, just like in the floating tabletop. So you got to bend the back knee. It's not the front knee that bends, it's the back knee. Now lean back. See if you can tip your elbows forward and your hands back. I'll give you lots of things to focus on. Now, for a moment, let's not do, let's feel. What do you feel here? Anger toward the teacher? Right? Powerful toward yourself? What is the dialogue? Hug in on the outer hips a little bit. Feel what's going on in the front of your left hip. Take a breath. And now stretch your arms out long and twist to the right. Keep that back knee bent. I want you down low. Get that knee almost touching the floor and then scoop the tailbone down just a little bit. Lean back. That right arm can be reaching toward the back space. One more breath. We're going to windmill. Left hand down, then right hand down. Go ahead, straighten the back leg and go to plank. Woo! Lower down slowly. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, down dog. So were you with me on that? Was that a good moment? Yeah. And you were ready for it. We've done some twisting. We're opening up those hips. Opening up those legs. Let's do it on the other side. Left foot steps up. Stay on the right toes. High crescent lunge on the left. Come on up with some grace. Reach your arms to the sky. Pay attention to your stance. Make sure you're wide. I want you to have stability. And I want you to use the pinky toe on that back foot. You got to stay up high on the ball of that foot. Let's bend those elbows. We call that goddess arms. Fierce. Right? No one's going to mess with that right there. Elbows forward, hands back a little bit. Lift the chest even higher. Now we're going to bend that back knee. You got to get higher on the ball of that right foot. Bend that knee, go low. Go lower. Go lower. I know you got it. Now hug the outer hips in. Lift the belly so you're leaning back away from your left leg. I know you've got this in you. There's a lot of burning going on. Notice what you're feeling and notice that you have the power to regulate that sensation. You can dig in and make it fire up, or you can back off. What's important for you right now? If this was sensitivity training, my guess would be that you could back off and still feel something really beneficial. Yeah? Why does it have to be 110%? Why does it have to be like you're wearing armor and you're ignoring the sensation and just digging? What can we learn from our yoga today? Take one more breath. Stretch your arms out. Give me a twist to the left side. Yeah, it's not over yet. I guess you have the option to put the knee down if you want to. And if in any way you feel like you're leaning forward, I want you to try to lean back. That's it. Take it back. One more breath, like a windmill. The right hand goes down, the left hand goes down. Step it to plank. And lower. Yeah, celebrate that. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Woo! Yeah. Yep, take a deep breath in. It is a celebration. When we connect with ourselves and we feel and we breathe and our cells are dancing, yeah, then the yoga is working. Give me one more breath. Push back a touch. So good. We are going to step the right foot forward again. This time drop the left knee down softly. Come back to the low crescent lunge where the arms reach high to the sky and you have this beautiful extension in your spine. Right, we keep visiting those sensations of cat and cow. So here again, the sternum lifts. We're in full extension and the front spine open. Take it up, take it back. All right, last breath. Give me your fullest expression. Bend the right knee a little bit deeper. And then with grace, place your hands down and stay for a moment. The left hand is going to stay on the mat and the right hand is going to go up onto your knee. Give me a little twist there. It doesn't have to be a big twist. This twist is way more about you figuring out where you are in your hips. So I want you to come down a little lower. Make your stance long. Really long. Everyone slide your left knee back at least 1 inch. So you're on the top of the knee rather than right on the center of your kneecap. There you go. Now, you're going to try bending that left knee behind you. You're going to bend it so your foot just points up to the sky. Try it. And then you're going to reach back with that right hand and swing around, see if you can grab your foot. You know you heard of us. So close. Do you have a towel with you? Oh, you don't need it. There you go. Now open your chest up. There you go. Open up the chest. Open your chest wide to the right. Show me where that twist comes from the belly. Turn the belly button. Turn the left rib cage under you a little bit. You can even make it beautiful. That's it. You got that foot? See if you can narrow your sit bones a little bit and hug those outer hips so you're not exploiting your flexibility so much. Tighten up here a little bit and squeeze that knee in. Press into your big toe, yeah. Find that midline, right? And so the left side and the right side are moving toward each other as you open. Yeah. Give me one more breath right there and then smile. Yeah. Release your hand, release your foot. Take a one leg down dog. Just one breath. Stretch it up. And then step it right back through again. Same foot forward. Similar to where we were earlier, knee down, take your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana. So that's a half split. Hips back, right leg straight. I like it. One hand on either side of that leg. See if you can stay up high on your shin. Lift your hips up. You got it. Now, the fun part. Flex and point your foot a little bit. Notice the sensations. This is another one of those moments where we get some sensitivity training. So flex the foot and then point it. Again, flex. And then point. See how big the range of motion is? And notice how different the sensations are, yeah? All right, now we're going to hold the flex. really want you to hold that flex. So think about your pinky toe moving up toward your hip. Pull the pinky toe toward your hip. Yeah. So good. Now, this is really important. We're going to do a rotation, but I want you to rotate the whole leg, not just your foot and your ankle. So we're not just going to turn the foot. This would be turning the foot. Can you guys see that? So like if I just turn my foot, nothing else is turning, right? I go that way or that way. I want you to turn the whole leg out to the right. And hold it there. It's good, right? We have 3 hamstrings back there, and they don't all get enough love. Feel what's going on through the groins, right? In the midline. Keep the chest lifted, keep your breath floating. That's it. One more breath where you are. And then bring the toes right back to center, just like you're dialing them. And then the same thing, the whole leg, all the way from the hip, turn the big toe toward the mat. Woo, see what you find in there. Yeah, we're just prepping. So you come to yoga to realize that there are body parts that you didn't even know existed. That is how we develop relationship with ourselves. And however many years you've been living in this body, I promise you, forever, as long as you're in this body, there will be new things to discover. We wake up in a new body every day. And even like 25 years of marriage, we discover new things every day. So when you're in a relationship with anything, right, you continue to discover. Dial your toes back up. This is why sensitivity training is so important, right? Go ahead now, flex your foot again. And this is going to be the bonus. And it's only if you already feel maxed out, like if you feel like, oh my God, I can't believe she's still keeping me here, stay where you are. But if you feel like you want to touch just a little bit deeper, go ahead and drag the right heel back 1 inch. Ooh, yeah, like pull from the sit bone, pull that leg back just a little bit. How's that feel? You okay? Give me a breath. Give me an ah. Yeah, and then give me a smile as you bend your knee and come forward into your lunge. Beautiful. 1 leg down dog again. Sweep the right leg all the way up. Smile. It is over. Maybe you should be smiling because it happened though, right? What did you notice? Take a breath here. And then place your foot down. Come forward into plank. And make the sweetest vinyasa with your breath. Lower down, empty out. Inhale into cobra. And exhale back into down dog. So there's lots of ways to be safe on the mat and to have new discoveries and really heighten our skills of sensitivity. We're going to step the left foot forward and come into that low crescent lunge. Make sure your stance is nice and long and nice and wide. Sometimes you sell yourself short because you have a hard time stepping forward. And so once you have both things down, you can actually open it up. That's it. So the right knee is down. Isn't that where we started? Oh no, we did. Yeah, arms come up, but knee is down, right? So think about that cow pose. Open up the front of the spine, lift the sternum, pull the biceps back. And as you reach up high from the heart, can you also sink down low? Beware that that front knee isn't squeezing to the midline. Actually put a little weight on the pinky toe. Yeah. And so the legs hold the stance, but the hips hug in and give you a little stability. That's it. Now grow from the middle. Grow all the way up. I want you to feel the pit of your belly lift and go all the way to your fingertips. You're pressing into the top of your right foot and breathing. I really like what I see. Let's take one more breath here, and then gently place your hands down. The right hand will stay down, and the left hand will go on the knee, and we do a little baby twist here. This is not about making the twist so deep. It's actually about getting a gaze over your left shoulder so you can contemplate what's going to happen with your right leg. We're going to start making sure that the stance is long. We're going to make sure some of the weight comes forward so you can bend your right knee. Go ahead and bend the right knee. And it feels way better if you're toward the top of the knee rather than right on the patella. Like you can't really bend the knee if you can't move the kneecap. That's it. Reach back with your left hand, grab that right foot. It's good to grab the pinky toe side. If you have a choice, take the pinky toe side. Yeah. And then the chest is wide. That's it. And then you want to find the relationship between the right shoulder and the left knee. Sometimes that left knee splays open, so if it's splaying open, you want to draw it in line with your foot. Find the action of the twist now. Turn the belly. Lift the sternum. Head back a little bit. Make it feel good. Go longer. Go ahead. Go longer. Head back. Chest higher. The hair. The more you lift the sternum, the more you awaken the sensation in that quadricep and hip flexor. Can you bend your right knee and drop, bend your left knee and drop your right hip a little lower? Yeah. Woo, right? Take one last breath there, and with grace, start to let it go. Now you get that one leg down dog. That's your release. Where's the celebration? Yeah. Give me one more breath there, and then same foot, step it through. We're gonna go to the other side by taking the hips back, straightening the left leg, and playing with your hamstring. And now this is all about discovery. This is all about what you can feel in there. So we're gonna point and flex a couple times. And I know that in and of itself is always interesting for me. I find that I can actually access some of the tightness in the back of the leg that's not just about the hamstring. I notice behind my knees and behind my calf and my ankle too. So like just play with the whole thing. It's not always about the hamstrings. So point and flex a few times. See if you can get that leg straight. I think it is. Lean a little forward. Take this even more forward. Perfect. Use your fingertips for stability and just play with pointing and flexing. Yeah. So good. Now we're going to try to hold the flex, which means the pinky toe is pulling toward the hip. Pull the pinky toe back toward the hip. Yes. And remember, when we dial that leg out, we're going to dial the pinky to the left. We're going to take the whole thing, not just the foot, but the knee and the leg bone. Feel it turn all the way to the hip, but keep your hands forward. Yeah. Really good. I guess if you really want to crank that IT band, you could put both hands to the outside of the left leg. Yeah. Optional. Not necessary. Make sure you're up on your right knee. I want your hips up in the air. Yeah, come on up for me, Core. Come forward. More. This way. Even more. A little bit more. One hand right there for stability. Straighten and flex. All right, we're going to dial those toes back up to center and then dial them out to the right. Big toe toward the mat. Crazy. Right? There's a crazy amount of sensation there, and you got to be nice to yourself. I don't think anyone woke up this morning and went, I'm going to the park to kill myself. I am. I'm going to the park because I want to tear my muscle tissue apart and I want to injure my tendons and my connective tissue. Like, no, I don't think so. I think we came out because we want to feel good. So I want you to breathe and move, and I want you to be sensitive. And that's not your fault. I promise you it's not your fault. It's our society. And so we can make a different choice. And actually there's enough of us now doing yoga that if we start making a choice, our energetic impact on the world might shift the way we think. We might actually have people that are more sensitive. We may make room for other people to feel like it's okay to be that. Let's dial our toes back up to the center. And now that last little piece, if you want it, pull the heel back. Do it only if it's going to feel so good. Like if you do that and you go, yeah, instead of, oh, right? If it's alarming, don't do it. Your body is telling you something. We've been talking about sensation through the whole practice. Lift your chest, look forward. Yeah. Sensation is the language of the body. Sensation is the way the body speaks to us about everything. Things that feel really good, things that feel not so good. When we're hungry, right? Pain and pleasure, we have all kinds of sensation, and this is how we communicate with ourselves. Let's go ahead now. Take one last breath. And then smile as you bend your front knee. Tuck your back toes and take that left leg all the way up in the air. Yeah. Where is the celebration? Yeah, I didn't hear anything there. Take one last breath and then place your left foot down. We're going to come through our last vinyasa. I think it's our last one. I'm going to do a time check. So lower down slow. Do it like you really care about your body, that you're being sensitive. There's no competition here, just love. So we inhale into cobra and exhale into down dog. And then I want you to drop to your knees softly and come into child's pose. How we doing, Ann? Good? All right. All right. So we're just going to move into tabletop as a transition, and the right leg is going to step forward. Now, as you bring that right foot forward, I also want you to bring it over to the left. And we're going to come into an old favorite, Kapotasana, our pigeon pose. That's it. And this can be done on your back with your right ankle crossed over your left knee, and you can hug that into your body. There are a lot of variations, and I know that we have all different levels here in the park, and your hips are pretty prepared, your spine is prepared, so you could do a king pigeon upright, or you could lay it down. It's totally up to you. You are prepared on both sides. I want you to try to catch yourself. If you're leaning really heavy to the right, it might be safer for you if you shift your weight more toward the center and make sure that your right knee stays on the right side of the mat. So just kind of, again, sensitive, aware of how you're positioning yourself. I'm going to give you a couple minutes here to just be. You want to lay down? Come up and bind? Yeah. You don't even need a spot. There you go. How gorgeous. Sternum lift. There you go. It's like you make it come alive when the heart comes in. You want to try? Grab what you can. That's me. You want your foot? There you go. You want the other one too? So beautiful. Lift the sternum. There it is. Whoop. One gets a good grip on the foot, the other one can grab the wrist. You can grab one and then grab the other, yeah. Beautiful. Make sure you breathe. Beautiful. Alright, so one last breath where you are. I want you to all come down to your forearms. Just go ahead and rest on the forearms and look forward. So you're really kind of pushing down. You can even make two fists and push down. And then I'm going to have you tuck your left toes. Tuck the left toes under. Lift yourself up a little bit and step back into a half plank. A little bit of core work. Yeah. Draw the tailbone toward the heels and the belly toward the spine. So the core is totally engaged. So that right leg is stepping back into half plank. Yep. See if you can make your body in one straight line. 2 more breaths, that's all. 2. And now 1. And then go ahead and lay yourself down. Lift your chest, push into the elbows, a moment in Sphinx pose. That's it. And then lay it down and push back to child's pose. Breath nice and steady. Stay as long as you need. And then you know our next move is child's pose. I mean, we're in child's pose. Sorry, it's tabletop, so we can prepare for pigeon on the other side. That's it. So left foot comes forward and the sun is coming out. And as the left foot comes forward, know that you're going to move it to the right. So wiggle it over and then let that left knee drop over to the left side of the mat. Beware if the left knee is trying to go across the mat. It's not the knee across the mat. The left knee has to stay on the left side. I'm coming to help you, my friend. Yep, keep it all the way over this knee, that way. Even more. Yeah, it feels a little better there, doesn't it? Yeah, and then you can rest onto your forearms. That's it, and then don't push, just be. Make sure you're breathing. The thing I love the most about this pose is that there's so many variations. It's affecting a lot of major joints in the body, so we all have to do it differently. So I want you to do it in a way that you own it. That you know it's serving you, that you are using the sensitivity that you've been cultivating throughout this entire practice. And the truth is, I am pretty sensitive and I'm really good at observing bodies, but I can't feel the sensations that you feel in your body. So you are in charge. I can guide you, but in the end, everything you do on the mat is your choice. And the degree to which you do it is determined by you. And I promise you, everything you do feels better when you're breathing. If you want to try some different variation because you did it on the other side, go for it. If there's something that makes this feel beautiful for you, it makes you feel alive, then I want you to do it. There's a way that you can make the pose feel better, softer. Take it. It's a really big challenge to find the grace. And to find the patience. There you go. I'm coming, Lisa. Yeah. You're welcome. So a little hug on the outer hips, just like all the things we've been doing. A little hug on those outer hips, a lift of the sternum. There you go. We're all going to take 2 more breaths, that's all. I'll do it. And then very slowly find your way onto your forearms. Push into the fists and the forearms and tuck your right toes and then let that left leg out from under you. Step into a half plank. A little bit of core work. It's a good shift for your brain. Both feet on the floor. Tailbone toward the heels so your butt gets a little lower in this one. And can you do it with grace? Can you do this without being so fierce? I mean, some of you look really mean right now. Right. Yeah, like could you actually wipe that away and take a breath and just let it out with an ah? Yeah, it's not that bad. And then go ahead and lower yourself down. Let the hips down. Enjoy a little bit of back bend in Sphinx pose. Legs are long behind you. Heart feels wide open. This one's always good for a smile. Yeah. And then your last breath here. And we'll push all the way back into child's pose because it will feel so good. So I want you to find a quietness about this moment. And I want you to slowly find your way to seated. So just kind of come on up and come to, you can sit on your heels or you can come into simple cross legs, whatever is really going to make you feel comfortable. And again, a moment where you have to decide. I could absolutely direct that, but I know that because of our knees and our hips that we all kind of maybe need to sit a little bit differently. And so I want you to find your way. Sit up with the best posture you could create. Where is your best posture? It actually comes from sitting on your sit bones, lifting the heart right up over the tailbone, and then finding your head above your heart. So be careful that you're not leaning forward. I'd say about 75% of this group could lean back an inch. Yeah. Close your eyes and then stop taking yourself so seriously. Yeah, this is just a moment of sensitivity training. I want you to pay attention to your breath. I want you to pay attention to the stillness. What is your face saying about your internal world in this moment? Simple cross legs is called Sukhasana, Sukha. It's like easy pose. Are you taking it easy? Some of you look like you're working. And the truth is, catch yourself when you do that. Because it probably means you have a hard time relaxing. We can pay attention to the way we do things on the mat and we can learn something about the way we live our lives. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. In little subtle ways. That is a truth. And so I love my yoga so much because it has allowed me to see myself. In all of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I take it all, because when I see the truth, I can change, right? If I can laugh at myself for sitting up so seriously and laugh at myself, then I know that I can let it down. But if I never noticed, I would just continue to live my life that way. And I want for you to be able to let down. And on the other side, if you always let down, like if you're just constantly in the and you never lift up. Maybe you got to notice that too. Like, what would it feel like if you just lifted your heart? You broaden your chest, lift the collarbones. Like, what would that feel like? So just as many of us are not doing enough, and then there are just as many of us that are doing too much. And the beautiful thing would be if we could all find some balance. And so we're only going to know that, we're only going to learn that about ourselves when we get sensitive, when we become aware. Now, with whatever it is that you learned in these moments, I want you to gracefully find your way onto your back. Just keep it with you. And the rest of our practice will be slow, and just in a way that will help you to wind down. The laying down should feel really good on your posture. Like it's a great way to just feel the tension leave your body and allow the support of the floor to hold you. Mother Earth beneath you. Go ahead and pull your right knee to your belly and give it a little squeeze. Yeah. A little squeeze. And then switch. Still squeeze it. And then let's take both knees in. And let both of your feet float right up into the air. Just feet up to the sky. If that's difficult, tuck your hands under your sacrum and separate your feet a little bit wider. That's it. Try not to overwork this. Soften your feet. Soften the feet and soften the knees, even if you have to bend the knees. If your hamstrings are tight, don't fight with them. Bend your knees. Find the soft place. Draw your chin more toward your chest. Try to relax, yeah. Relax those feet, you're still working. Rest them on me. Literally, let me have them. I know your legs weigh more than that. Go ahead, let me have them. There, now I've got them. No, you still got them. There we go, I got them now. Okay. Right? That feels better when you let them go. Yeah. And so we're just letting them float there, and we're going to try to let go of some of that effort. Take 3 more breaths, that's all. Just let the blood drain a little bit. And as you start to finish up that 3rd breath, you'll draw your knees towards your belly, and then place your feet onto the mat. You might feel the blood come back into your feet. And then put the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop open. Your arms can go up over your head and just stretch. And take 2 more breaths here. Just soften the belly. There's nowhere to get to anymore. You've already done it all. You're just trying to touch everything and make sure there's some balance so that I send you on your way today feeling really good everywhere. And now bring your arms down and draw your knees back to the center. Let's open the feet up to the width of the mat. The knees are still bent. You should feel your heels at the edges of the mat. So look for that feeling of the heels on the edges of the mat. And then let both of your knees tip to the right side. That's it. And as your knees tip over to the right, take your left arm up over your head and just give me a little bit of stretch in the left side of the body. It should feel really good. I want you to make sure it feels really good. You're just moving in opposite directions. You're getting a little twist on the lower spine. And lots of breath moving in and out of that soft tissue. Okay, last breath here. Go ahead now and pick up your left leg and bring it over to meet your right leg into a full spinal twist. There you go. And take 2 breaths there. That should be good. And now really slowly and sensitively, you're just going to tip your knees back up to the center. Once you're in the center, let's widen the feet one more time and we feel the heels on the edges of the mat. And then both knees are going to tip to the left side. And just stretch your right arm up and just get a little love, a little like good morning stretch in that right side body. Nothing has to be forced or pushed, just enjoy. It's good, right? Now we're going to bring that right leg over to meet the left. So just bring it on over. Let the whole thing twist. Hips are going left. Chest feels right. Nope, don't switch sides, baby. Don't switch sides. There you go. Just make sure you're breathing. Soften your skin. Soften your facial expression. And know that you just don't have to do so much here. Sometimes it feels good to do less. I think sometimes when we do less, we get more. We don't know how to quantify it because we're getting something different. Let's bring the knees back to center. Give them one last squeeze. And then release everything all the way out for your final resting pose, Shavasana. And the sun somehow always shines on Sanborn. Just let yourself settle. Nothing to do but breathe. You've done it. Without opening your eyes, I want you to just simply bend your knees and put the soles of your feet on the mat. Just take one breath there. Notice again how you feel. Conscious resting pose. It's a perfect opportunity to observe yourself. Take note of what you created within today. Once you've had a moment to acknowledge it, then you can find your way up to a seated position. Go here so I can see everybody. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Before we close completely, I'm just going to say thank you for your commitment to this program, for your commitment even more so to your own yoga practice. I feel like it was a gift for me to be here today. I'm supposed to be in Mexico right now. I'm supposed to be away on vacation with my family. But my dad's in the hospital and he's actually doing great and he's going to come home today. And so I was supposed to have a sub and be off somewhere doing something different, but I wouldn't trade this for anything. He's okay and we are here and life is good. So thank you. Let's do one Om to just seal the practice. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Namaste. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday. Enjoy the sunshine. See, we get gifts for being brave and courageous and bold for coming out, right? We changed the weather in Boca Raton. Imagine? You're so welcome. Good to be here. Thanks, honey. Do we even have the flyers and stuff? I have passes for the studio. If any of you have not been to the studio, if you've not been to Yoga Journey, I would love to offer you a pass to be able to come and practice with me or any of my amazing teachers. I also have an email list. So in the case that this would have been canceled, I would have sent out an email and I would have posted it on Facebook and Instagram. So if you're following me on social media, you would always know if I'm coming or not. And if you'd like to be on our email list, you'll also get the monthly newsletter that will give you all the information about my retreats, my workshops, everything we have going on in the community. Sometimes there's charity events and fun social gatherings and all kinds of things that we do through the studio. And so if you would like to be connected, just come up and see me. I have the email list here. Yoga teachers, I have a training coming